It's I think for my whole life, I've always kind of wondered, like, what would an apocalypse be like? What would, not that nobody, of course, wants, like, the movie The Road or the book The Road. Nobody wants that to happen. Nobody wants a nuclear fallout. But you always kind of wonder, like, I play in so many video games and watch so many movies, and you kind of romanticize about, like, like an apocalypse. Like, what would I do? Like, how would I survive? And I've learned very quickly, I don't want that at all. Like, I never want an apocalypse. I don't want our society to fall apart. I don't want to learn how to survive in the woods. I don't want to try to do any of that. I am good. I'm very happy with my life, and I think a lot of people might be feeling the same way, where they're like, no, I thought maybe Zombieland sounded fun. Not at all. Never interested. I don't want to live in Mount St. Helens in a tent. Like, I'm totally happy with my life, and I like warmth in my house. Have you ever felt that way? Like, where you kind of, like, you watch Red Dawn, you're like, oh, man, like, they're really living,
Wolverine!
Yeah, like, because movies make it seem kind of fun.
You mean the 80s Red Dawn, right?
Oh,
Not
hell
the
yeah.
remake.
Yeah,
okay,
the remix. Dude, I have a hard time watching older movies. I just do. Like 80s, look, you're going to be mad at me. 80s movies are great.
Of course,
but
yes.
even like movies from the 70s, even like the old Star Wars movies, you can just tell they're a bit slower.
Yeah.
Like they are just
Yeah.
And Red Dawn is one of the few movies from that era that is just perfect. It just is such a great, fucking fabulous, perfect movie. Like, I think the 80s are when it started, when people were like, we got to speed up storytelling and we can't have weird long pauses and it can't be so slow. But fuck, Red Dawn is one of those movies that just really holds up so well. I love it. I should rewatch it.
So two other things come to mind about coronavirus. I hope I'm wrong. I hope we don't have a thing in the fall.
It's important to say, and I want to back you up here, is that you might be giving a prediction, and my fear is this, but that's not a hope. Like,
not at all.
Like, when I predict the Redskins to go 3-13, I predicted the Redskins to have a bad year last year in the NFL season. I wasn't hoping they did, but it's like, well, the reality is this might be what happens. There's a prediction is not a hope.
So Cam Newton played for which team again?
The Carolina Panthers.
And what did you predict they would go?
6-10.
And what did they go?
They went 5-11. But the main point from this prediction, right, as I said, Cam Newton, my fear is he's going to get hurt, and I even said in my video, at some point, a backup quarterback is going to play for the Carolina Panthers, probably Kyle Allen, and, we might even see Will Grier because he's a rookie, they'll want to see him. What the fuck do you think happened to the Panthers here? Cam Newton played 2 games, he got hurt, Kyle Allen came in as a backup, and then, lo and behold, we saw Will Grier play at the end of the year, because fucking that's exactly what I said would happen.
And what did you predict the the team in Washington that has the racist name would do?
3-13.
And what did they do?
3-13. And here's what's funny, like my prediction was even more spot. Like, the only part of my prediction was wrong is I gave the Panthers one more win than they got. I said they'd go 6-10, then went 5-11. The Redskins, not only did they have the exact same record I said they would have, I said they're going to be a mess and a turmoil of a franchise, and they were. They fired their head coach week 5 after losing their 5th game. They fired their head coach, and I said the other problem they're going to have, they have a rookie quarterback, Dwayne Haskins, and I just fucking know they're going to play him before he's ready. And what did they do? They might have literally ruined his career. They're talking about using the number 2 overall draft pick to draft a quarterback rather than keep the guy they have, which they drafted last year, because they ruined his career by playing him too early.
So here's the important thing for people here. You would love it if Cam Newton had a great season in Carolina. You would have loved it if Carolina Panthers and Cam Newton won the Super Bowl, you'd have been happy as a pig in mud.
You can make a grim prediction and not hope it comes true.
Correct. Yes, and I don't want any of this to happen, but I just want people to be careful. So if they unleash the hounds and tell us we're all free May 1, June 1, or July 1, I love dive bars. You can go to portlanddivebars.com. Karen and I do that project. If they release all of us June 1, we're not going to go to dive bars till July 15th.
That's what I think is interesting.
We're just going to wait.
Yeah.
I want to support local, but I'm going to wait and see what the case is. And if the cases skyrocket, because, I really don't want to get it and I don't want to die.
That's what I wonder, like the when we send, like, if the NBA does start again this summer, I don't think attendance is going to be very high. Like, I don't know. There'll be some people that are opportunists, like the people that are stuck in Europe right now that took really cheap flights and they can't get home. But I think a lot of people, I'm not going to go to an NBA game. Well, I'm not going to anything.
Here's my prediction for NBA and NFL.
Yeah.
If they feel like things are under control by June, they're going to bring the NBA back for a shortened season, obviously.
Yep.
And they're going to play until they screw it. They're just going to play until October or whatever. They don't care. I think they'll do something, right?
Well, they can play indoors where rain doesn't affect them.
Right. So I think they'll just play longer. I mean, it'll go normally. It's over and they'll just start up. But I think there'll be no fans.
Yeah.
And I think the NFL and college football is going to play, but there'll be no fans in the stadiums. That's my prediction, because that's how because Herbstreit, who I greatly respect. He came out today and said if he was in charge of the NCAA, he'd cancel college football next season. If he was commissioner of the NFL, he'd cancel the NFL this season. And people went crazy on him because he just thinks it's not wise and not safe. And I think the way they're going to split the difference, because it's...
We'll give you the product you like. But our players are under quarantine other than the going on the field.
Right. And the press will be kept, forget 6 feet, 20 feet back, and they'll play games in empty stadiums because in one sense, this is sad, but the NFL is almost an essential business.
Look, for me, it literally is. It literally is my business.
For people's emotional stability, having gone through a whole 3 or 4 months of locked in, at least they can be home watching the NFL, watching games.
Well, not to mention
it's going to be a comfort to people.
There literally is a ton of financial ramifications of cutting everything. I mean, not just for me. Like I know I sound like I'm biased and I am a little bit because I work in sports. But even forget my sports show. Like, how many advertisers, how many things are not going to work because they don't have sports right now? I mean, the world is. It's a fucking mess.
So I think what'll happen is right, wrong, or indifferent. I think they'll bring it back without fans in the stadium.
They'll split the difference. I like that.
That's my guess.
Yeah,
that's my guess because
they're
gonna
like quarantine because of the fear. If one player gets it, everyone in the league will have it like that. Because if you play one team, it just will spread like wildfire.
But I think they're going to be regularly testing players. They're going to put thermometers on their head like I went through Germany. In Germany, they check our temperature like 4 times before I got through the air.
Yeah, they're going to be quarantined. The players will be very on a strict. I mean, they can't right now. NFL players can't travel like anywhere.
Yep,
they're very highly Samson's stuck at home, and they won't let him leave. Not only just because he's in LA, but literally they're like, you can't travel anywhere. Even before this was weeks ago. This happened before everything else was shut down. Before when you could fly anywhere, they're like, you can't fly anywhere.
Yeah, because their NFL understands they've got an asset they need to protect.
Yep, and that's our players. I mean,
yep. So
go ahead.
Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say how are you handling? Like I said, I learned I don't want to go in apocalypse, and I'm trying to stay normal. Like I definitely have taken a big financial hit, but I think honestly, my numbers are about the same on Strong Opinion Sports, but I think fewer videos are getting monetized because I think there are just fewer ads for YouTube to put over stuff. But I am okay a little for the most part, and I'm glad. But I mean, emotionally, it's like, how do I watch? I mean, I don't know about you. Like when I'm trying to talk about sports, and I'm like, does this matter? I got to tell myself people want the entertainment, and it's good for people who are stuck at home. But I've been really struggling. Like I'm trying to watch Tom Brady film, and I'm like, how do I do that when I can't? When I just watch Contagion and the world's falling apart. How do you feel about all this, emotionally?
So I got a thing that just makes me grumpy that I struggle with that we'll talk about in a bit. But big picture, for me, there's days that I am more productive and days that I'm not productive.
Yeah.
Because it's discouraging. I have lots of friends that have businesses that are culinary, bars and restaurants in Portland area. And I know that bars and restaurants were shut down across the country, but I don't know all those people. I know the people in Portland. Yeah. And I'm guessing 10 to 20% of the restaurants shut down are never coming back. Again, I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah, but you see the guy hop a PDX and you're like, oh, man,
Hoppa's going to make it. I'm pulling for him.
Okay.
But I have clients that have essential businesses, and part of it, I get to put heart and soul in helping them. I filmed with one yesterday for the first time, had to make a really cool video, and it's going to help him. And if I can help these businesses survive, that gives me a sense of purpose. Sure. And they're essential businesses. Yeah. They're in the food world, and that's really good. But there's days where I'm just discouraged. I'm just not going to get anything done today. And I've learned to bracket that. So today, I was filming a client that has an essential business and working with them. I'm here tonight and tomorrow. I already have scheduled to do nothing. The video that I filmed yesterday, I'm not going to edit till Sunday or Monday because I will have no emotional energy because I'm going to hear about more deaths. And then I get, because of all the care I gave people professionally years ago, I get 3 or 4 people a day reaching out to me privately through Instagram, DMs or Facebook private messaging or just texting me for encouragement. And and that's what I do is I care for people. So I've just been giving care. Kevin's the same way.
Yeah.
He's giving care to a lot of people, and it's tiring. And so I've just learned to accept that some days I'm going to be good and some days I'm not. And I just have to accept that because I'm creative. And when you're a creative, it takes energy to be creative. And then when you got this shit going on, it's really hard to be creative.
It's so fucking irritating because I know there's an audience stuck at home that wants content. And I actually did better when everyone's stuck at home, and you would think oh, Zach, it's your time to shine. All you gotta do is stay at home and make videos. Hell yeah. And I've been way less productive since all this happened because it feels like there's a weight over me all the time. It's I wish I could just watch, but I can't all the time. I just can't be as creative.
Because you're watching Tom Brady videos and saying, wow, what does it matter? Another 970 people died today in Italy.
Yeah, or like we'll even have an NFL season next year. Literally, I'm like, well, what if I make this video about how next year is going to go? We don't even have a next year. Like, it's hard for me. Like, it's so silly, but it's true. Like,
that stuff weighs on you. And I think a really good thing for people that are wrestling with it, this may sound counterintuitive, but the thing that you're freaking out about, that you're terrified about, that you're worried about, say it out loud.
Just own it.
Own it, get it out. Say, this is what I'm afraid of. I'm afraid that the NFL is going to be shut down and that's going to ruin my life, or I'm afraid that my restaurant isn't going to go under. And just saying it out loud takes some of the fear away, and you bring stuff into the light of day. And when you speak about it out loud, it sounds counterintuitive, but it really helps, because then it's not this fear kind of lingering in the back of your heart or the back of your mind. You barfed it out on the table, and you can look at it and say, okay, what happens if? We've been through you and I, through two incredible, a personal and financial crisis. We lost Zane. That was life-changing. Then we went through the Great Recession. We literally ended up homeless. And I know what it's like when you hear a noise out in the front yard and you run out to the front yard and a guy is repossessing the minivan that was so precious to us. And that was just gut-wrenching because there was just no money to pay for it. And what a loss. And so there are going to be people that are going to have that kind of crap happen to them, but they'll get through it. The ones that don't die, and I hope very few people do, but people will get through it. And, that happened, in 2011, and things are way better now. Now I have a RAV4. Everything's great. But there was that heartache, and you just have to, here's the worst thing that can happen, and we're going to be homeless. Where we're going to live? Oh, okay, we're going to live in a garage. So we've been through it. And I want people to know that they'll get through it. Just what's the worst that can happen, and then press on.